Yeah.
Would you have an Equus or would you get a Tesla?
It's different cars, different things.
Right, different
Right.
thing. But I mean,
I like them both. But here's what
I heard Tesla's got an SUV coming out. My wife's interested in it.
Oh yeah, I remember they did do
That's probably
a concept
it's
of
$1
it.
billion though, right? It's gonna be crazy.
Nah, it won't be that. As the technology goes, it's kind of like, think of electric vehicles like ATMs. Remember, you only saw them at banks. Now you can find an ATM everywhere. So what'll happen is it's the reverse of, remember you used to go to a gas station just to get gas, and they did this thing for stop and go. Since you're here, you might as well get the milk and so forth. It'll be a flip where, say, if you go to Applebee's or you go to any other place that you want to go, you can stop with the 480 charges. 20 minutes, boom, you got 80% charge. Wow. So while you're eating,
you charge, right? No, you don't charge. You're the.
But they do have a Prius that you can plug in, and that will give you 13 miles of just electricity. So if you're going back and forth to work, and it's less than 13 miles, you can plug in while you're at work. You can go back and forth to work and use no gas. Never use a gasoline.
So what is your has a?
It's got an electric and a gas,
right?
But it doesn't charge. Oh, it like the.
Well, it regenerates energy, which is why you get better gas.
Go ahead, Flair. Go ahead.
That's my car. It's my car, man. But see, as a broke ass person, right? I was like, this is perfect for me. I get the good gas mileage I need. I know it's a Toyota. I know I can get back and forth. I can't buy a new car right now. Right. So I did a lot of research before.
Well, I'm gonna tell you, if you want a good luxury car that everybody slept, if you can find a used Phaeton by Volkswagen, I want it.
Looks like somebody's trying to get in from outside.
I think people are. They're checking it out.
Yeah. And I heard Volkswagen talked about.
Did they finally reduce them?
Huh?
They were really expensive. They were overpriced, right?
No.
Oh, that's not.
Weren't. It was.
I thought that was one that was like 70 or something.
But think about something. You had a 12-cylinder engine from a Bentley, and you basically had an Audi car. And the problem was, and even my buddy Brian Armstead, who brought me into this, he didn't like it because it was a Volkswagen. I said, but what about quality? Oh, I love the quality. It was the name.
The name, yeah.
And so I had talked to Jonathan Browning, who's the head of Volkswagen America. I said, why don't y'all just give another division and call it a Phaeton? But see, what people don't understand is,
they were like, well, it's like they got a good brand, but it was just.
Well, but you have to understand. Do you know who Volkswagen owns?
No.
Volkswagen owns Porsche, Audi, Lamborghini, Bentley, and the car that made my mouth go like this. What's the $2 million Bugatti?
Oh, right.
So they own.
So I woke up in a Bugatti.
You did? I rode in a Bugatti.
And then woke up.
0 to 60.
It was brand new. I woke up in a new Bugatti.
0 to 60 in like 2.5 seconds. And I was riding with the official driver for Bugatti. There's 2 sets of keys. One key will get you up to about 212. If you wanted to do 256, you got to get a different key. And you have to be on flat land, because if it notices any turning, then it slows down.
Wow. All right, let's go to the completely opposite end of cars. We're talking with the unseen VJ, Alvin Jones.
He's now in cars.
Who's a car expert, aficionado.
And what's the website, Alvin?
PlanetVehicle.com.
Okay, so
look.
Speaking of the planet.
Glad you asked.
Bam! PlanetVehicle.com. So, Alvin, you said it's interesting. Planet vehicle. This is an important question because we're talking about the planet.
Right.
India has one of the highest populations on the planet.
Billions.
The Tata came out a few years ago.
Right. And you know, Tata owns.
I love Tata. I love Tata.
The Tatas own the Land Rover, the Jaguars.
Actually, Tatas have been coming out for a long time.
Right.
But the car.
I saw Nicki Minaj's Tatas on Today Show.
But the Tata, in terms of
car, were they bodacious?
Has been out for a few years.
Bodacious Tata.
Yeah. And the good thing about the Tata is you can buy 2. They're very cheap. Right. But the Tata, it was designed as a third world nation vehicle.
Right.
People that they buy a car, this thing has got to work.
Yeah.
Because I gotta go from my village, my small community town on a back road.
Right.
There's no highways, limited gas stations.
Oh yeah.
If dust,
AAA.
if there's dust in the system,
right.
It's got to be able to resist all of those things.
BT, basic transportation.
It's basic, but in some terms, actually, a much better designed car that some people in America could use. A person that has a limited budget. Right. A Tata is what, $4,000?
Yeah,
$6,000. Yeah. Doesn't have AC. Price. It's about the price of a Yugo, but designed much better.
I owned a Yugo.
Much better than a Yugo.
I don't even know why they called it Yugo. It should have been You Stop.
Yeah. So you got played is what I.
And I'm sure with all the car manufacturers around the world, will cars like the Tata come to first world nation? Will they come to America?
Eventually they will. Yeah. They will. You know, because what happens is this whole thing is global. When I came up with the term planet vehicle, I wanted something that was specific and nebulous at the same time. Because actually, the Curiosity rover is a planet vehicle, and a boat could be a vehicle. You know, so a plane could be a vehicle. So I wanted something that would encompass. And some people say planet vehicle. Do you do green cars? Sure. Yeah, it ain't everything. Whatever you talk about. But you're right with Tata. What you'll find is basic companies like that. You know, what they do is try to become a player. They acquire something that has a prestige. And it's kind of like, remember when Fox, they had In Living Color and Married with Children and all that other stuff? They became a player when they went to get the NFL contract. So it's always that you start, I mean, think about something.
We need an eye catcher.
Right. What would have happened to AOL if they hadn't bought Time Warner? When was the last time you seen anybody pay for AOL?
Right. So we'll own this market, and then we'll leverage it into something else.
Right. That's how you do it. It's kind of like the legitimate gangster way. You make some money, and then you become legitimate. You know, that's what WorldCom was trying to do when they bought MCI. Because remember they had Michael Jordan do the commercial. Nobody knew what WorldCom was.
Right.
And so a lot of times those companies go, they do funding, get themselves together, and then they go and buy something that already exists. And they buy so much stock in it, they start to control it. And so they don't have to create anything. They just buy what's already existing.
That's like the Japanese company that bought
Sony.
A percentage of is it Sprint? Or,
I'm playing the phone call.
I think it was Sprint. Recently. You know, a telecom company in Japan that nobody's ever heard of is now, you know, merged into the second or third largest telecom company in the world.
Yeah, think about LG. When I remember when they first, what the heck is an LG?
Right.
First they started off with TVs, and they did phones and everything else. Yeah.
It's the 96 day.
Alvin Jones, go ahead, son.
Science of it.
Having fun.
We have a '99 Lexus, like the big, you know, the Lexus truck. And what we love about it is the space, the 3 rows for the kids, right?
The RX or the
LX, the LX, 470.
The one with the seats that fold down the other way in the back. I could never get that, but yeah.
And so now it's time to
There's nothing like it, is it?
Right. They got this very expensive. It's like what the version now is like really expensive. I think it's like you know. But we don't want to necessarily go that route. Is there any SUV, big SUV that you really like? That's maybe not crazy luxury.
Look at a 7-seater. It's not a luxury, but look at Santa Fe. They've done some stuff with it.
Hyundai.
Nick, turn that down a little bit, would you?
Then you got.
I'm trying to hear the show. What they're doing the show in the show.
Excuse me, Nikki.
Nikki is also doing a show with this show.
Right.
The one we're supposed to be
right. So, like the Infiniti JX.
That's what I told my wife. The Infiniti has a lot of cool features on it. It's kind of pricey too. Right.
But you know what I like about the Infiniti, and they're starting to put them, and actually they do have them now on the Pathfinder, and that is it's a surround camera. What they do is have a camera front, back, and so it's great if you don't want to, you can get in the parking space, but a lot of times you may end up you may end up hitting the curb. But here you can see it, and if someone walks in between you, you can do that kind of stuff. Plus, what I like with the technology is the adaptive cruise control. You know how that works? Okay, say you got cruise control and somebody's in slower, then you have to put your brake on. Now the cruise control, you got to hit it back up. But with the adaptive cruise control, it has radar. So say if you're going now, you're doing 55. Right, Mark?
Exactly.
Okay. All right, the person in front of you is doing 47. Your car will slow down to the speed that it's doing. If they get out of the lane, then you can go back up to your 55. Cool. Now, say you're in Beltway traffic going 695 or wherever, and the traffic starts to crawl. You don't have to touch the brake because the car will still slow. And even if it stops, the car will stop, and then a couple of seconds it'll go beep beep to let you know it's not on, you have to put your foot on the brake. But things like that mitigate. You have some systems also that say if you're backing up and it senses something, it'll apply the brake also. So there's a lot of safety going on. To me, one of the best safety features in the longest time has been the backup camera. And it's not really for people to park. The purpose of the backup cameras, a lot of people were because their children are below the deck line, they would back over their kids. So there's been talk about NHTSA may want the standard where all cars have to have a backup camera.
I can see that.
Yeah.
What's the so this is more financial, but logically, my wife's Lexus is paid off, and I have I said Chrysler, and I'm like, okay, she wants to get a new car. I said it would make more sense if I traded in my Chrysler and kept the Lexus. Has never been a problem, but it's like 99. Is it unreal? It's like
I mean it's a Lexus.
They last a pretty
Yeah, I mean it's
so
a good car.
Just have one note. That's still logical.
Yeah,
right?
Just one note. Yeah,
just one note. Yeah,
no harmony.
And even though hey, it's not gonna be I'm gonna lose my Hemi, but I'm like, you know what, honey, go ahead and you do it.
You sound like you need to lose.
Well,
what are you thinking about getting though?
No, she's gonna get probably the smaller Lexus.
Oh, the RX.
The smaller, not the RX. The one is maybe it is RX. It's the RX, not the LX. You're right. Like
RX.
Right, the RX. So, or like I said, the Infiniti. I told her I like the Infiniti. A friend of mine has the Infiniti.
Right. Or like I just did something with the Audi Q5.
You said the Santa Fe.
Santa Fe.
Yeah.
They started doing the 7-seat Santa Fe. It was called the. It was called the Veracruz.
It's a Hyundai.
Yeah, Hyundai.
Interesting.
So you got a 100,000-mile powertrain warranty.
So you got can't beat that.
5 years, 60,000 miles, bumper to bumper.
Okay. Yeah, if I'm looking at that.
And
28.
y'all didn't hear this. No. I've got a good relationship with them.
He knows some people.
Alvin knows people. What is it, Troy? He knows people. Oh, yeah. What happened, man?
No. Actually,
I'm out of touch.
Man, it's
forgot.
Matt Alvin connected. He got his own show. He knows people.
There we go. Well, the folks in Hyundai are really cool. We developed a good relationship with them, so we can I may be able to do the friends and family.
Oh, okay, all right. Well, make sure I got Alvin's information here. I get it from Nikki. Nikki, your husband is gonna take care of me.
Look it up.
Yeah, man, that's a great. I mean, I'm happy for you, man. This is a great concept.
So
it's like you say, cars are so part of our life.
Right.
And so, Alvin, the theory that the new cars will have the social media piece, internet access, blah blah blah, and then therefore, is going to cause this explosion of internet, blah blah blah. Do you see that slowly happening, or
it's happening now? Some of the cars have it
where the explosion not as big as people thought it was going to be.
Well,
do most of the new cars have internet?
Well, some of them do. I know the Chryslers have it. Some people are putting it together now. Like for example, Audi has their navigation system is based upon Google Maps.
Okay. So can you access the internet though?
Some you can, some you can't do while you're driving. I know with Chrysler they had for their minivans where you could have 4 or 5 different people on almost like I guess it was like a little cards. And then they also had it where you can get more than one channel. They had to deal with DirecTV where you can say, for example, if your son wanted to watch Aquaman and your daughter wanted to watch Hello Kitty, they could sit back and watch things.
That's hot.
But also the technology has where you can have a text come in and it'll read it to you.
Okay.
Right. It's like you have a text, read text, boom, boom, boom.
It says,
but this is
get your ass over here, nigga. You supposed to pick up these damn kids.
Right.
Get off that woman damn grass. Your monkey ass.
But now that's something that they've started to do, and Google was doing it with the car. But I remember back in 2006, this is where I really was doing car stuff. There was a technology thing that they had up at Rutgers, and so they were having it where you have chips. And what happens is, say you program into your nav where you want to go. The car knows, it knows the route. What will happen is you have other cars there. And so, for example, say there's an intersection where people trying to make lefts and rights. Well, once all the cars talk to each other, everybody knows what it's doing, it finds the perfect spot for you to get in and go. Because they do all, it's almost the same way that you do traffic over the internet, you know, through this portal, how you get to it. And so that will come eventually. But it's good because, say, for example, if I'm coming too close on a car, the car go, hey, I'm here. And it kind of like,
hey.
You're right.
So you roll, son.
Right.
Pump your brakes. No, really.
Literally.
I've been programmed to pump my brakes. I am pumping my brakes.
Michael, I think.
but you know, I mean, this is all, you know, precedes what we all know is ultimately going to happen. The damn car is going to drive itself.
Yeah.
The technology has already been worked on.
And then Big Brother is going to crash.
So
he will get to work.
Too dangerous, take over his car.
So based on your, I mean, you know, obviously they
too much verbiage.
Technology is virtually there that the car, a car could drive itself. But really, on the market, when do you think? How far along is that going to be?
You know what? That could be anything from 10 to 20 years, and it could be 5, because it all depends on who is the next new whiz kid that comes up with something that goes boom, boom, boom. You know, it's just like, and I'll give.
And it's going to be a better draft.
I think it's already there. It's just not available to the public.
Well, I bet soon. I'm saying 5 years.
Yeah, it's a lot.
It's going to be a better driver than you. I think it's going to be like you have the option. And people are going to be like, oh, you old school, huh? You driving.
You driving. Look at
him. Right. That's what you do, right? Oh, you drive. Come on, man. Really? You're driving?
There may be a real market for that, but not old folks.
We'll be riding by. Troy will be driving. So I'm going to tell you right now. I won't. Troy, I like manual. I like to drive.
Look, we'll be sitting on the car, smoking a cigar and go, that man's in the front seat of the car. He must be driving.
I know. Dude, what is he doing? Oh man, what you doing? I'm driving. That's what I'm doing.
Damn it.
Yeah, I'm gonna be the one not driving. It's kind of like
when you see somebody with
just talking.
You can't wait.
Yeah, Alvin. So anyway, I was, huh? Oh, I can't wait.
Like I can't wait. It's kind of like
I'm excited now
with a pencil and a pen, right? You go, yeah, and you laugh at them until you realize I only got 2% of power left on my computer.
Right. You like cursive kids.
Right.
No, I can't read that. What? I can't read cursive.
You did not go there.
Huh?
That's what she did.
Read cursive.
Your girl on the Zimmerman case.
Right.
What?
Yeah.
You didn't know about that?
She said that?
Think
yes,
about
that's what I say. You did not just go there.
When have you seen a document or email like person?
No. It's a bad day for you, brother. Ma'am, can you read? No, sir.
Well, I think what she was saying is I couldn't read your cursive writing.
Yeah.
Right. They tried to make her.
No, I don't think
Are you sure? Some people you can't read.
Okay. That is true. Right. No, sir.
But if you think about it, when you get texts and emails and all of this stuff, nobody sees cursive anymore.
Yeah. And the kids don't have to do. It's weird. They don't really have to do that anymore. They kind of got away from it. You're just like, what?
Because
you got away from
it. It used to be you're right. Everybody, yeah.
But everybody is typing though. Right. For those who say people aren't literal anymore, they are typing more than ever. Mm-hmm. So it's interesting. I mean, they typing like some crazy words. LOL and pop POP and yeah, Troy, you're right. I'm excited about the non-driving piece. I'm like, I can't wait. Man, I'm more excited about that than a new car. So let me ask you this: when is this gonna
Can I retrofit my car for this?
Yeah, I'm ready now. I'm ready now. Just be sitting in the car, listening to music. Yeah, watching TV. You have arrived.
You watch the TV 2 o'clock in the morning. Retro drive.
Yeah. But after 12, when you have those, the drunk driving.
Right, yeah.
DUI.
No, they be driving while asleep. I'll be in the back.
Yeah. Me too. That's the best sleep.
Right.
You have arrived.
Wait a minute. You ever notice when you were young, you fall asleep in your parents' car, and then when you wake up, you couldn't go back to sleep again?
Yeah.
It's like just sleeping in the car.
Oh,
in
yeah.
the garage.
No, I could always see. I had my little blankie. Oh, man. That was in the car with the little blanket. Man. I can't wait for this retro drive. Alvin Jones brought it to me.
Man.
I can't wait. Well, I'm going to have commercials. Hi, I'm Mark Clark. Don't drive. You don't have to worry about the checks and drive laws.
I can drink or drive. Right.
You can drink and drive.
Right. Man would be mad.
Hey,
you gotta go out of business.
I ain't driving. I'm fine. This car got it.
Well, of course you could get a drink in the car.
That's what I'm saying. You drink it and drive.
Right.
Drinking and riding.
Is there a problem?
I'm drinking and riding.
Yeah.
There
shouldn't be anything wrong with
you
that.
were speeding. Talk to the car.
Hey man, I don't know. This model's crazy,
Right,
man.
right.
This model's crazy.
Must be an engine problem.
And cops don't know what to do anymore.
You know why I pulled you over? I have no idea.
I really don't know.
I don't care why you pull me over.
You shouldn't be pulling me over.
Right.
Legally, you have no right to pull me over, actually.
Right.
Because I don't drive.
Are you black?
Yeah, I think your computer is black.
Oh,
you're riding while
since
black.
I do a car show, let me explain to you the standard procedure if you're black, a black male, and you get pulled over. It's taught to me by my father. All right, first of all,
this is before your car show.
Right. That's why I'm still alive.
Yeah, that's the one I'm looking.
Window down, radio off, hands on steering wheel.
10 and 2.
10 and 2. If it's at night,
10 and 2.
dome light on, window down, radio off.
Really?
Right. Do you know why I pulled you over? I have no idea. Well, you were going to, are you sure?
You ask, are you sure?
Yes.
Are you questioning me, boy?
Well, you know, the one thing about having the press cars is because the car is never mine, and it doesn't belong to anybody else but the car company. I found that police officers don't like to lose control. So he'll pull me over. Okay. I need to see your license and registration. Can I get them? Give him my license. I give him the registration, insurance. I give it to them. Well, what's this? It's paperwork for the car. Well, who owns the car? I said, it's a Ford. Who owns it? Ford. Yeah, I said, let me ask you.
You sound like a smart ass.
I know. You get ready to get killed.
All I did was
get killed.
Do what he does to get killed.
Thank you, Alvin.
Don't do it!
Ford owns it? Oh,
Right.
Ford owns it? Well, guess who owns you?
No, but they look at it and he's trying to find the owner. And I go, real simple. Ford makes a car and
And
they
you
sell
go
it to
simple.
someone.
Go ahead.
Right.
See, you are.
I'm Jesse B. Yeah.
I'm about to kick your ass right now.
Right.
Let me explain. Ford makes a car.
Right. And they sell it to somebody.
He's like,
and they own it, right? But if
This is what your daddy
Ford,
taught you?
I know.
yeah. Well, then my father didn't tell me that.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. Variation.
Yeah, that's too much.
Alvin point 2, 2.0.
I have
But
a TV
explain to
show
him.
would be better, Alvin, I think. I have a TV show and I drive car.
Right.
What?
You know, I got pulled over by the police officer over on Barracks Road, right? What had happened, the lady was walking across the light, and she walked behind me. And then she came up, and then I stopped short. Then he came, pulled me over. I said, I had the light. As a matter of fact, the lady came from behind the other car. Matter of fact, I saw you and your partner when y'all crossed the street from getting your sandwich. He was like, okay. Because I'm like, I'm paying attention to everything. And so.
I don't know, man. You're right on the line, buddy.
No.
Oh, you told me to get my sandwich? We ain't supposed to get sandwich? What you trying to say?
No. What I was saying is I pay attention to everything.
My job?
I know. Oh, okay. I can't have no sandwich?
Blackmail me?
Look, man, I haven't eaten. I'm not even my badge number. I know they told us not to have no more sandwiches, but I just getting hungry.
But it was a good sandwich, though. I got to tell you. He was doing real well. But now it's just the whole thing of is when they're not in control and they don't know what's going on, they just kind of go.
Really?
Like, yeah, because it's like.
Okay, famous last words of Alvin Jones. Hey, I like not having control.
We're sad to report Alvin Jones is no longer
Yes.
with us.
We'll be like, yeah, man.
Did somebody call me a cab?
He did the test drive for Planet Vehicle and a brand new Tesla. And
See, now I got to call Lloyd
he
Strayhorn
wasn't
to
driving.
see if my numbers
he
are
was
right.
riding
I
in the
can drive.
car.
How are they? How are the Teslas? How are they rated?
Oh man, I had fun with Tesla. They do the
What are they? What's the cost? What's the price point for those?
for the when they had the Roadster, it was about $100,000.
Huh?
And the sedan.
Sedan, I think
Damn.
they were like 80 or something like that.
Sheesh.
To 100.
Really? I didn't know it was like that.
Well,
But Mark, here's the
it
thing.
was
Here's what you want to do.
this car was
cars-
a race, was a speeder.
It was
you
a
know,
sports car, and they
sports
did
car.
that way because they can do all the technology going there. But 0 to 60, 2.6 seconds.
Wow. And it's like, what's the speed? It's like, isn't it a electric gas thing?
No, all electric.
It's all electric.
It's all electric.
It had a range of about 230 miles. So theoretically, you can leave here and go to New York
What?
Yes.
Charged up, baby.
Charged up.
Really? It's all electric?
All electric.
It's all electric.
There's no gas. It's just a go.
It's.
You need how long does it hold a charge?
About over 200 miles.
You just said,
and again.
I'm not that smart.
No.
How long does it hold a charge? I said 200 miles.
No, but some things it's not normal. So
right.
Electric car that you can go 200 miles. Even if I tell you, it ain't gonna register in the beginning because you go like, yeah.
And you know, braking systems.
What you doing, Grandpa?
Some of these...
You need to get some gas, son. We've been driving for 3 hours.
Right.
Pop, we're gonna plug it in. We don't need to get.
We're gonna plug it in when we get there.
Right.
What?
That's what an old man would love that. So it'd be
when the cars first.
This car don't have no gas in it. Thank you, sir.
But when cars first came out in the 1800s, there were electric cars back then.
That's true.
And slaves. This car don't need no pulling, sir. It's electric. Yeah, I know it is. This whip ain't. This whip ain't electric.
I disagree.
Yes, sir. I feel
is that why they say riding the whip?
The end of it, guys.
He's riding the whip.
It ain't got no electricity, but it crackling like a mother. It's called electric, sir.
Oh, that went back to Ben-Hur, man.
You guys get ready to say goodnight.
Oh, man. And it is time, yes.
Alvin Jones, our guest tonight. Our first guest. Alvin, thanks so much.
Man. Oh, man, thanks for let me hang out with you.
Planet Vehicle.
Saturday night, I was going to go back and do some editing.
Oh, well, see, come by here, man.
Man.
It's called electric, sir.
The word of the day is electric.
It's electric.
Not electric.
What's the word today? It's electric.
Alvin, how can they reach you, though?
Oh, planetvehicle.com or info@planetvehicle.com.
Awesome.
Now, Alvin, I know there are going to be times when you're going to have I know you have a big garage with all these cars you got to test drive. Just call me, man.
You know what we have to do?
Let me drive a couple for you.
We have to do something. Yeah, you do a segment with you guys.
Yes. Make sure the Tesla's there. I'll drive anything. I don't care. I love cars.
That's cool, man. That's a great concept.
Thank you.
Are you trying to get other markets?
Yeah.
St. Louis?
Yeah.
Man, love the song, man. Love the song, love the video. We have more Rick Ross now on WHR.
Rick Ross is the official rapper of WHR.
That is true. Well, Wale.
I hear what I know what you're saying. I know where you're going with this.
Rick might edge him out. You're right.
I know where you're going.
And I want to thank everybody listening tonight, and also for those who watch this on Ustream, as we had the show within the show inside the Hangsuite every Saturday night.
Had a good time with that.
Alvin Jones stopped by, actually, on the show.
Got to give a shout out to Deidre, who's listening tonight. Appreciate that. And watching on Ustream. Let's see, we had quite a few folks that were listening on. So
awesome.
Thank you. Appreciate it. We'll be back next week with another exciting show.
And this week, maybe we'll find out, will Nikki and Alvin get it? Will Troy and Mark get it?
Will we?
Will Michelle and Mike get it? Who will be the next big voice, Washington's big voice? Keep listening to find out when they're going to announce. We don't know.
The votes are being tabulated as we speak.
Man, it's a lot of tabulation.
Man.
Good gracious.
Apparently the machines they're doing, they're tabulating, ain't got no electric.
Ain't got no electricity.
But they're tabulating nonetheless.
Yes, man.
So we're waiting and we're eager, and I know people that are listening are eager too. In the meantime,
and between time,
this is DC's #1 Saturday night show, though. I mean, I think it's worth saying, worth mentioning. In the meantime, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, well done,
Nikki. You have anything? You look like you're pensive. You ready to say something?
No, I'm cool.
You good?
Nikki's ready to say something. I think peace is what Nikki's ready to say.
See ya. I knew what it was, but she looked like she had something on her mind. Of course, you can listen to us on Sirius XM 141 Monday through Friday. Hangsuite right there on HUR Voices. And that's it. Bobby's up next.
Bobby!
The Week in Review.
Yes.
All right. Huh? No? Okay. Everybody have a great night. Bye-bye.
Peace.
Here we go.